welcome to Table Tennis Philosophy. I'll go ahead and award you your participation trophy for showing up, something I like to do. All right, table tennis is a mental game, and it's a physical game as well, so obviously, but there's so much of a mental side of all sports, and table tennis in particular. And one of the odd things that you'll hear a lot about table tennis is that to play well, you really should be using your subconscious more than your conscious thoughts. If you have a lot of thoughts running through your head when you're playing, it's distracting, it's going to work against you. I've had people tell me that, okay, they've gone to go play some competition and told themselves to be calm and look at the ball. Various things people come up with, which are not bad things, but if you're consciously thinking about them, it actually works against you. If you're every time you get ready to play out a point, you're thinking, be calm, be calm, be calm. Then you're almost certainly not going to be calm. So let me give you a couple things something to think about, two things to think about, and one thing to look at. And because it's really hard to not think about anything. So when you approach competition, one thing to think about is your serves, because you can consciously plan those out. That's the one shot that you can place hopefully exactly where you want it to, with the exact spin you want it to. And it's a huge part of your strategy of playing is what kind of serve you're going to give. And I would suggest that as being probably the main thing that you think about. Okay, so but of course that only gets you through your serve, and that doesn't help when the other person's serving necessarily. You don't want to be thinking about your serve when they're serving, if that makes any sense. Okay, so what you should be doing on the other time is it'll help for you to think about the right things when you're playing if you're looking at the right things. So what I suggest is when you serve, think about your serve. Throughout the rest of the point, look at the rotation of the ball. That's your main focus. Look at the rotation of the ball and respond according to that. Because table tennis is a game of spin, that's going to be a very important thing to look at. So when the ball is coming to you, when your opponent has already made the shot, you're looking at the rotation. Once you've made your shot, you got to have something to look at then too. Now you don't need to be looking at the rotation of the ball. It doesn't matter. You put whatever rotation that you're going to put on it. What you should then be looking at is your opponent, looking right at their body language, at where they're moving their racket. Are they going to hit a forehand, going to hit a backhand? These are two things where if you look at the rotation of the ball, and if you look at your opponent at the right time, you don't want to be looking at the shot that you just made after you've made it, because it doesn't matter. What matters is what comes back at you. If you look at those two things, then that'll occupy your mind enough. Things that people think about that are not helpful are things like, I'm going to hit this one for a winner. That's not helpful. But here's just, if you can narrow these things down and focus on those things, I think that'll put you as close to being in the right frame of mind for playing table tennis as anything else I could suggest. And I welcome your suggestions, but I've found that to be usually the most helpful. All right, thanks a lot. See you next time.